Hello today, YouTube. So I know it's been a while since I've made a video, and just there's been a lot of stuff going on with work and everything like that, and I just figured I'd hop back on here, and I'm gonna try and find some more time on my days off to do certain videos, and this one's gonna be hopefully a shorter one, but not too short. Pretty much, I'm just gonna go over some dislikes and likes about this new Xbox Series X, and my 2 cents on it. I know I've done some review videos of it. I did an opening of it and those kind of things, but I never really went over the dislikes and likes of this Xbox. So let's get into it. So first off, I'm gonna go over the likes on this video or on this Xbox, and more there's more likes than there is dislikes, to say that. First off, the HDMI cord, it came with this in the box. So it's just an HDMI cord, ultra high speed. It's actually, it's a halfway decent cord. And then one of my favorite things is the power cable. There is no more power brick, which, some people might be happy about that. Other people might miss it. I don't know who would actually miss that. Maybe just for the nostalgia purpose. But this is actually, ironically, the exact same cord that the PS4 and I believe even the PS5 used. And I'm not sure if the PS3 used one. Maybe some of the newer ones, like the later gen PS3 models, used one like this. But I remember the one that I had one of the big fat ones. Those ones used the thicker cord. But I'm glad Xbox went to this, and this is the cord that came with it. And I actually took this Xbox to a friend's house, and we used his PS4 power cord for this, and that just felt wrong on so many levels. But hey, what are you gonna do? So without further ado, let's get this thing turned on. Let's just plug that in there, and let's turn the Xbox around here. Some other things I really do actually kind of like are just all the vents on here are pretty nice. It definitely helps keep it cool, and I do enjoy that. And all the ports are pretty simple. Everything's on the back, so it gives the front a nice looking finish. And you have your HDMI port, you have the power port, internet port, and some USB ports, like connecting USB cords to your phone or to your Xbox controller. And then the external storage, which I really am a fan of, even though I haven't had to use it. I am a fan that they did that. That's really a nice thing. So let's get this thing all plugged in, and let's turn this thing around and fire it up. I also do like the green accents on there. And again, like I was just saying a second ago about the finish of the front end, you got the button right here, button up here for the power, and then another USB port down there with the sync button. That's your disc tray button, and then this is the power button. And one of the other things I really like is the startup of how actually quick it is when you hit the button. Once it connects to the TV, it should be connecting any second, as long as I have everything hooked up right. And maybe not. Should be connected. Alright, let's see why this is not connecting. I'm sorry about that. Should be connected. Oh, it's HDMI 1. Whoops, my bad. Alright, so now it's on, but let me just go ahead and show you exactly what I meant by this. I'm just going to actually go back through, unplug it, and turn it on one more time. This is what I meant to say, was just the how fast it turns on. So there's a TV, and I just unplugged the cord and plugged it back in. Give it just a sec, and it should be turning on. There it goes. I don't know what it is about that. I just really enjoy it. I don't know why I enjoy that so much, but I just like the new startup sequence. Then obviously you have your the main account, which is mine, add new, or you can just skip the sign-in procedure, which is very similar to the Xbox One. So just a couple more quick things that I really do like. Number one being, I'm not sure if there's a game in here. and there is not. So one of the main things I like about this is the fact that it's so similar to the Xbox One, and that a lot of stuff is very easy to maneuver. Everything's very simple and straightforward where it should be, and I really enjoy that. And I just like how, it shows you your games and everything. Then you can just go over here and click on that to get onto your profile and do all that stuff. It's just very, well, I don't have it connected to the internet, but anyways, it's just everything's very straightforward, and I really do enjoy it. You can just go through, personalize the layout and everything. Go to home, my games, apps, settings, and settings on here. They're just like the Xbox One. They're pretty straightforward, and it's pretty simple to use, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, and just in terms of user friendliness, I think it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. Once you use it for a week or so, if you're new to it, it's pretty straightforward and simple. Now on to one of the biggest dislikes about this console that I cannot stand. And I really wish Xbox wouldn't do this. And I mean, well, Xbox, Microsoft. The fact that you cannot download a game without internet is the dumbest thing I have ever heard of in my life. This is a console, okay? It's not a computer, okay? It's not a laptop. It's not, it's not a cell phone. Not everybody, believe it or not, has a computer and internet. And I don't know if that's hard for Microsoft to understand, but not everybody does. I sure as heck don't. Where I live, where my house is, the land that I live on, is in the middle of literally this, just woods. That's where I live, is in the middle of the woods, pretty much. No internet provider comes out to us. And Verizon, which is the phone carrier I have, and that's just who we have, because they're the only ones that come out to us, the mobile hotspot on my phone only can be used up to like a gigabyte, so I can only download certain games, and I have to be able to like turn the internet on, off on my phone in order just to download a game. And it's ridiculous because you can download the entire game. Like, take Red Dead Redemption. Take that game, for example. I can download this game in its entirety, and once it's downloaded, you think, okay, it downloaded. Cool. I can play it. You click on it, it says needs internet to finish installing. So, in that regard, what ends up happening is I have to connect my Xbox to the internet for all of maybe 5 to 10 seconds just for it to boot up like the last, I don't know what it is, like a 0.1% or something. It says 100% across the bottom of the screen, but it'll say needs internet connection to start the game. So I had to connect it to the internet for all of 5 seconds, turn the internet immediately off, and then it can play. Now, I think that is the dumbest, most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. And if anybody's found a way around that, please, please, please let me know what the way is. Because I know in the settings there's a way of turning the internet completely off on the Xbox. And I've done that, and I've tried downloading the same games. It still refuses to let me play it unless I connect it to the internet just for those couple of seconds. Which I don't understand why it's like that, but it is. And that is just one of the biggest, most annoying things, because I don't have a hotspot on my phone now, and because I had to get a different plan with my phone carrier, so now I can't download any games. I got to drive a half hour to a friend's house who has internet just to download a game, and it's just ridiculous. It honestly is. But that's just one of my biggest gripes about the Xbox. Other than that, I love it. My only other main complaint about this Xbox is, number one, well, there's actually two small complaints. These ones aren't very major. The fan is always going. You can't hear it. This thing is quiet as can be. It's quiet as a mouse. You never hear this thing. When you put a disc in, when it starts spinning it and scanning it for the first maybe 10 seconds, not even 10 seconds, like 5 seconds, you hear a little tiny bit, but hardly at all. Once the game is in there, you can play this thing for hours and you'll never hear the fan or anything. But so that's a good thing. But one of the bad things is that the fan is always, always, always going. So unless you shut the console down completely, meaning you unplug it, or you go through the settings and do a full shutdown, this fan is always going. Now, the thing I don't like about that is, yes, it helps keep it cool, because when you turn the Xbox off just by pressing the button, just by doing that, it doesn't fully shut it down. It kind of puts it into a sleep mode, and when you do that, there's still power going through it, and that way when you turn it on, it just immediately comes back to life, right like that. So when it's in that sleep mode like that, the fan is always going, and I just realized this, that can lead to more of a premature wear, I guess you could say, which I don't see happening very often, because I'm sure Microsoft thought ahead and thought, well, this fan's going to be going quite a lot. We're going to build it so it doesn't just wear completely out. But the fan is always going unless you shut the thing completely down. And I get why they do it, but it also kind of makes me think, 2 or 3 years of doing this, that fan might start having some issues or something down the line, which I hope it doesn't. I don't think it will, but you never know. That's just kind of a cause for concern that I think about from time to time. And then the only other major complaint that I have is the dust collection on these vents is extraordinary. Not really up here, because the fan's always kind of blowing out the air, but I always take a Q-tip and go through all these holes a couple times every couple weeks just to clean the dust out. But when you look at the back here, which I never looked at until the other day, because it's always leaning up against the cabinet here, these vents suck in air and act as coolers as well. It's not sucks in air, but blows out air. And these things had so much dust and hair in them. It wasn't even breathing, I don't think. So I had to clean it out, and I am not taking this thing apart. I know it's meant to come off, like the back piece here is meant to come off along these seams, but there's no way I'm taking this thing apart. Let's just say that. There's no way I'm touching this thing, and I really don't like the idea of having to bring it somewhere and have somebody else do it who probably might not even know as much as me. But not that I know a lot, but still, I don't like the idea of bringing it somewhere just so they can clean this. But if it's something I have to do, it's something I have to do. So one of the last few things I really like about the Xbox, the fact that it stands up. I love the look of it while standing, and the fact that you can actually put it on its side as well, like this. That's kind of nice. I kind of thought having a cat and a dog, I'd keep it down like this, which I did, because I was so paranoid for like the first month and a half I had this. I kept it down. But then after a while, they kind of got used to it, and I started leaving it up. And I just love the look of it like that a lot more, because it is also kind of out of the way. But, yeah, and then there's obviously the games. I love these. That's the one thing that really sold me on Xbox, is the games that I really enjoy on the Xbox. Especially I know Red Dead Redemption is available on the PlayStation, and Call of Duty, and I know Resident Evil as well. But I just always had Xbox, so that also kind of sold me on it. And I'm looking, and Halo is a big one, the new Halo that's coming out. That one I am really, really looking forward to. That fact alone pretty much sold me on the Xbox, is the new Halo that's going to be coming out. Even though there wasn't a whole lot of talk about it, that was one of the major seller points of this console when it first came out. So I'm just going to put that disc in. I know the game. I actually haven't played this game in well over probably a year, Red Dead Redemption, so I'm going to start this game. So you see, this is what I mean. I downloaded the game, and I downloaded this at a friend's house. This is a perfect example of what I was talking about. This. First, connect to the Xbox Network. To start this game or app, you need to be signed into the Xbox Network. Check your connection. Settings, general, network settings, test network connection. What the heck? I'm going to be civil. What the heck? And I can think of about 1,000 other words I can say right now. Why do they do this? What is the point? I have the game 110% downloaded. That's not even a thing. But this thing is fully downloaded, and it's been fully downloaded, and it will still not let me connect. The Xbox is not connected to the internet. There's no reason for it to, and I can go through the settings right here, just like, nope, not that one. Go back. I can go right through the settings, and why is it, no, I don't, didn't mean to do that. I can go, there we go, now I got it. Trying to do this left-handed is not very easy. And yes, I know there's this thing to go offline, which I have done while downloading games before. and it still refuses to let me play the game. It's the most aggravating thing. So I pretty much have no games on this I can play at this point. I literally have not one game. I have one game actually, Dying Light, which is an amazing game, but I beat it. I've been playing it constantly because that's the only game I can play because I have no freaking internet. This is the most aggravating thing about this Xbox. Everything else I absolutely love. But just this, and plus this is probably going to take forever to turn the thing completely offline, which I don't know why. But you get my point. It's aggravating. Not a single, I have like all these games right there. Those are all Xbox games as well. All of them, you can see the green. I cannot play a single one, not one of these games, not one of any of these games can I play. All because of that screen that pops up, check network connection. All for 5 seconds of network. That's it. That's all it asks for. Why do they do that? If anybody has any idea, please tell me how I can get around this, because it is the most infuriating thing about this Xbox. So I've had this Xbox and I have not played a game on it in probably, I don't even know, a week and a half. And all because I had the games, they're all downloaded on here, but it will not let me play it unless I tap the internet connection onto the Xbox. Now keep in mind, when I say that, it's not every time I play the game. It's only that one time. So say I put in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, download the entire game. Then it pops up on the screen asking for that network connection. If I have network connection, which I don't, but if I did, and I connected to the network for all of, 5 seconds, like I said, and then immediately disconnect it, I can play the game as much as I want without having that message pop up again. I can play a game for however long without the internet, without ever worrying about the internet, without worrying about updates, any of that stuff. I can play it for however long I want. The only time it asks for that message on the screen is if you download the game. Once you download the game and you connect it to the internet, that's the only time you have to connect it. Then you can have the internet off the entire time you have the game on. You can play the game 100 different times over the course of 3 months, and it will never ask for it again. It's only when you download the game the first time. And it's the dumbest thing I have ever heard. I don't know why they do that. It's only that one time, and I don't understand. I tried looking it up, and from what I can find, there's no way around it. I just think that's ridiculous, really ridiculous. But I don't know, because that honestly, if I had known that when I got this Xbox, if I had known now if I had known that what I knew now about having to connect it to the internet and stuff, number one, I wouldn't have switched phone plans. Even though this plan is a lot less expensive, I would never have switched phone plans, or I would have made sure I got the hotspot. Because now that I don't have the hotspot, they're going to charge me an arm and a leg to reinstall it onto my phone. It's ridiculous. And now I got to drive back another half an hour right now if I want to once I'm done with this video, just so I can connect this thing to the internet for all of 5 seconds for each one of these games, just so I can play them when I come home. So I'm going to be blowing probably easily an hour and a half between driving and downloading the games, or not down, but connecting to the internet for each one of these games. It's ridiculous, and I hate it. But that's just my little rant about the Xbox. Other than that one infuriating little thing, this thing is amazing. I have to say. They knocked it out of the park in so many ways with this thing. How quiet, how smooth, how fast, how powerful. The way the picture looks on the screen, which my phone on my camera does not do it justice. The way this thing is just amazing. It really is. If they were so close, they were this close to perfection with this thing. Honestly, they were this freaking close. The only thing that these little tiny things that they could have fixed that just are so dumb and so minuscule that they could fix it so simply. I don't know why they did that. They were so close to having such an amazing beast of a console, and then they do that. Just because people don't have internet, that pretty much means you can't play the Xbox. And it's ridiculous. I hate it. But other than those couple little things I said, other than the dust collection, which is nothing to complain about, I can clean that very simply with a Q-tip and stuff, and this infuriating thing that pops up on the screen, other than those two things, it's amazing, and I love the console. I really do. And I don't know why this is not loading, but who knows? I have no idea. Other than those two main things, I love the console. I like the controller, and yeah. So that's just my 2 cents about this console. So some major likes and a couple minor dislikes and one major major dislike that I can't stand. So if that helps you in the future of thinking about buying one of these, by all means, I hope it does. And if it helps you decide, okay, I can live with the online thing or I can live with this, I'll buy it. Have fun. That's completely up to you. And if you do, I feel like you'll love the console if you can just get past those couple little things that are wrong with it. And if those couple little things and really are a deal breaker for you, then by all means, buy a PS4 or PS5, whatever floats your boat, whatever is good for you, is good for you. Whatever you want, do it. I just felt like making a quick video, even though this video is like 20 minutes long. I'm sorry. I just felt like making a video and kind of just so people can get a better feel for it. That's all. All right. I hope you all enjoy. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.